Dear viewers, welcome on this new episode on Islam, channel Word of Life entitled Islam Weighed and Judged by the Word of God. In this series of short episodes, all very concise and designed to be accessible to everyone, we will analyze together the hidden origins of Islam, obscured and concealed from the world's population, included the dynamics of its historical birth and development, comparing them to two fundamental perspectives. On the one hand, the traditional and the religious view based on faith, that is, uncritical. On the other hand, the historical, documentary approach based on sources, facts, and rigorous analysis. This is the first episode, and we will get right into it. At the heart of the debate, its revealed origin, its blind faith, or documentary evidence. The mannequin next to me symbolically represents the founder of Islam. And then at the bottom you have a representative title related to the theme of our episode, some sacred books of Islam. Yes, that book over there. So let's start with these questions. Where does Islam really originate? The second question we will address in these 6 minutes are, who was Muhammad really? Unusually, we are taught in the school from childhood that all began with a man named Muhammad, who about 1,400 years ago said that he had received a message from God. From there originated a new religion called Islam. This is the official story we have all heard since children, even in schools' books. But historical scholars, that is, those who study the history of Islam, those who digging into the past of Islamic history, they began to form their own questions 200 years ago because they were dissatisfied of the version created by our Muslims over the centuries. But over the centuries, they realized that the first 200 years after the death of Muhammad, almost no one spoke about him, didn't speak about him yet. Silence, as they say, is golden. No accredited sources, no reliable information about him. However, some information about him came with hagiographic additions, approximately 200 and 400 years after his death. We can't talk. Point number 2, we will talk about the standard book of Islam, the Quran. The Quran, as Muslim friends know today, it has not been the same version in terms of content since it was first written 1,400 years ago. We'll see how it goes. Point 3, Mecca, the holy city of Islam, which represents the spiritual center of Muslims, the direction of the prayer of the whole Islamic world. It is by no means certain that this is the first city of Islam that exists today, and that was founded in Mecca. And yes, there are many historical gaps. Scholars ask themselves, how is it possible that such an important man, as proclaimed, never been nominated for 2 centuries after his death? Many believe that the beginning of Islam was a collection of ideas, a set of evolving beliefs that had been constructed and reconstructed together afterwards in order. You can say that it is at the table, as you put it, transformed into your main character who cannot defend himself. And it was created little by little. Congratulations! In addition, the Quran, the holy book of Islam, it seems like, how can I put it? It was definitely written a long time after Muhammad's death, but long after that. And there are no eyewitness accounts or records, anyone who knew him personally and wrote about him for posterity immediately after his death. Everything we know comes from hagiographic accounts written by like 200 or 400 years after his death. This is a very serious problem, because we rely on historical foundations, including our faith. So there are 2 assessments. There is the historical assessment There is the religious assessment also, the one that Muhammad encountered, his God and exalted Islam. And then there is the historical version, which, let's say, has never happened quite like that. A religion has been created around the table to give it an identity, a place, a solidity to a new people, the Arab people. Friends, as you listen to me right now, the global Islamic community is raised mainstream against the version of Islamic history as told by invented until now, because many have begun to question the historical origins of Islam. They are checking on the internet, on the web, to see things really happen, how they drilled into it. And among those most illustrious names, Yasir Qadhi, have openly betrayed on social media the official historical versions of Islam, written with other Muslim scholars, started a worldwide debate that is currently being broadcasted on all social media channels worldwide. In conclusion, the message is this: the history of Islam and Muhammad, it is much more complex than it seems. And today, there are still many questions that remain unsolved. And that's the beauty of it. But it unfolds slowly, like a great adventure. In the next episode, friends, we will explore on the historical silence of Muhammad, spread since his death from 632 to 832. What happened? The Apostle John begins his epistle with the reassuring words: the one who was from the beginning, whom we have presented, whom we have seen with our eyes, what we have contemplated with our hands, have touched by the word of life we presented to you. Talk to you soon. See you next time. You'll discover some great things, I promise.